Welcome to the SAC podcast. My name is Steven, and I want to talk about something a little nostalgic, maybe for us Americans that grew up in the 90s into the early 2000s. And I want to talk about TGIF. So,
Sicily, 1912. Picture this.
picture it. It's Friday. You just got done with school. Hopefully got some of your homework done. You have the weekend to complete it. Maybe you told your mom that you already did. Either way, it's going on 7 o'clock and you're ready for your show. So you have your pizza with you, a soda maybe, or maybe it's time for you to have your dessert. And you start watching TGIF, which has the most awesome retro style theme song to its own self. Oh, yeah, how it's done, TGIF. And then you have the shows, which first up, Family Matters. Now, with Family Matters, this is a kooky kind of family with angst and all kinds of issues, but it has Carl Winslow and Harriet Winslow, who are the parents. And then you have Eddie and Laura, who are the kids. There was a sister that disappeared. They did this in the 90s a lot. And then they had their aunt and stuff. People would move in and out all the time. But the biggest deal that happened was when Steve Urkel came in.
Did I do that?
Man, he was a menace in his own way, endearing altogether, but he would throw some curveballs at Carl, and he would just like all his experiments that he would do. He had his alter ego that he would become Stefan, a smooth classic thing, and you would hear anytime Stefan would come in, the girls would cheer like it was something to be seen. It was a cool show. At one point, they had like a contest to see who can act like Urkel the best. And you could submit your video or whatever, and they would put you on the show. And they did. They put someone on the show, and we could not do that. So we were still, as kids, me and my siblings, probably kind of low-key booty hurt that we didn't get it. But it's not like my parents would have let us anyway. But that was an awesome show. Then we would get into Step by Step.
Fruit blows me away.
Step by Step was a interesting. It lasted not so long, but I love it till this day. So it begins with Frank Lambert and Carol Foster. They get married and they have their own kids. So of course, Frank's kids are a little bit more rugged, and then you have Carol's, who are a little bit more prim and prissy, and they always get into it. Like literally, there's one of them just fighting it out. And Frank has a nephew named Cody. He's a cool guy. He was one of the main reasons why you would get a good laugh. He would do his karate stuff. He got into I think one big fight that everyone was like, oh snap, he just kicked something off of anyway. But that was pretty cool, that whole dynamic there. Teenage angst, of course, moral of the story every time. All of these shows had a moral, and you just loved it for that. Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World is one of my top favorite shows ever. It stars Corey, and then you have the parents, which I don't even know their names, but because it was really about Corey and Eric, his brother, growing up. Corey's younger, probably almost a teen, preteen, kind of angst, and he has a friend named Sean. Sean is the rough guy. He had a rough go at it with his family, and they have a lot of just angst at school, specifically with Mr. Feeney. And that, you have to love Mr. Feeney if you know what I'm talking about. He was the guy. He was the wise person who always spoken like poem or little quotes that you would just think, what does that mean? But again, morals of the story, I think this show had like multiple morals in one episode, so they double down on that. And eventually Topanga comes in, the love interest. And, for me, or most people had a crush on Topanga or wanted to be Topanga. She was very out there, spiritual kind of in the beginning, kind of keeps those roots, but as it goes on, Corey and Topanga get married. So many awesome aspects are introduced into that show. It went on for a long time. It was definitely one of those shows that you wanted to watch, part of TGIF. And then you had Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Sabrina was a witch who, I guess in the first show, is her becoming of age as a witch. And her aunts are there. I don't know where the parents are, like her mom and dad. I'm foggy on that. I don't remember. But there was Hilda and then the other one, the straight-laced one. But, she's a teenager, has powers now. She can literally almost do whatever she wants. She can make changes in the middle of her day. But with her spells that she casts, oh boy, does she get into trouble. And it ends up hurting her more so than helping. But she's being trained, so she's allowed to make these mistakes. And Hilda and the other one always tries to teach her a lesson. She's with a guy named Harvey. They're on and off again in the beginning. And then she has her protagonist, Libby. Libby is no friend to anyone except herself. But we all look forward to watching it because Salem the cat, who was a talking cat, made it so interesting, and he was the one that made it funny, I think. With his crying all the time. But he was fun. Going back to this, they changed time slots throughout the years, but you could always bet on it that you're going to come a hard week, Friday's here, and you can watch these shows, relax, and have family time. Everybody watched. This was at a time where, we didn't have iPhones or tablets or anything, so it was family oriented. So if you experience this, let me know. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I want all the commenters to let these other people know what's up. Just a little nostalgia for today. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Hope this brought back some memories. By all means, comment what your favorite show was, a part of the TGIF if I didn't mention it. Well, I hope you have a great day or a good night, whatever side of this you're on. And remember, you're important. Take care of yourself. And I hope this brought back awesome memories for you. It did for me. Take care.